love stuff like this.
I'm leaving.
Okay, we are doing this again. We haven't done one of these ranking lists in a while. The last one we did with the Umbrella Armory guys, and it got really technical and very nerdy. But now we are doing it once again with two of my great friends here. We have Swampsniper Chris over here, and Novritsch over here.
Another Chris.
Another Chris.
You can chase it on me.
Chris and Chris. We've been here for the past few days trying to get all sorts of footage. It's been a very awesome experience. It's at Ballahack Airsoft. Of course, it's going to be an awesome experience. There's all sorts of crazy stuff that happens here. I've got a little bit of that to put into videos very soon. But we had over 130 submissions for this, and we had to dwindle it down to just a few, but I think we have a really good show here today. It's all snipers, DMR setups, and I really hope that you guys are excited for this.
Oh yeah.
So if you don't know how this goes, this is actually an idea that I got from the Donut channel, where they would rank their subscribers or people from their Discord or their channel members' cars. And we have pretty much the same setup here. We take a look at your builds and we rank them between too nice to pew, you know, replicas that are too nice that you might not want to take out to a field, maybe you're a collector and such. We have I want this gun, something of course that you want in your collection, something you want to run out on the field, maybe make videos out of, stuff like that. Then we have it's a good pew. It's pretty self-evident, it's something that you like, you appreciate, you can respect. And then of course we have at least it's got soul. You can understand where that player was coming from, maybe it's something of a passion build, and you can respect that too. For the uninitiated here, I was at Ballahack Airsoft with Swampsniper and Novritsch to celebrate the 15-year anniversary of the Ballahack field. I got to meet True Mobster for the first time, and a bunch of you guys while I was there. I even got to try out the new Novritsch SSP5 for myself. I was really surprised by just how snappy it was, but maybe I shouldn't have been. Only the rearward portion of the slide recoiled, so follow-up shots were super easy to pull off. The actual barrel doesn't move, and I mean, it really doesn't move. But I wanted to see what other people thought, so I put a couple in other people's hands for a couple of days. The weather may not have agreed with me making a full gameplay video, but with .40 gram BBs, this thing slayed. I'm not gonna wink this thing all day. I've seen thousands of high kappas, and just like Glock replicas, they just exist to me. I've seen multiple $1,000 high kappa builds with crazy colors and super fast slide kits, but I just want to know if it performs. And yes, the SSP5 performs very well. The TDC is a very simple and nice treat, and it throws .40 gram BBs like they're nothing with that VSR-10 hop-up bucking inside. We used SSP5s in the heavy rain of the swamp, and we ran them at long ranges, and everyone enjoyed them. And as someone who keeps his ear out for complaints, I was pleasantly surprised to hear so much praise. The accessories that you can get for the SSP5 are also really good, and the Novritsch specific holster even holds onto an Allen wrench so you can make on-the-field adjustments to your hop-up whenever you need them. Basically, if you would like to skip a bunch of steps from building your own high kappa, then here's a great option for you. But be sure to check out other people's reviews. There's a lot of videos out there for you to get a whole bunch of information. Don't just stop here. If you type in Novritsch SSP5 onto YouTube, you'll find everything you'll need. Just know that I'll leave a link in the description down below for whenever you'd like to get a closer look at the SSP5 on the Novritsch website. But with that said, let's get back into the show.
Man, I have a hard time identifying this.
So the very first one comes from Anton, and I really like this because I actually have one of these, and Chris, Swampsniper, has one of these. It's a G&G FNC, a bit of a classic. A lot of them are kind of need of repair. Mine also does, but it's such a great rifle. It's a very solid piece, but I didn't expect to actually see one of these submitted as a DMR setup, and it looks like we have a pretty interesting paint job on this one. There is no information on the build, any of the parts in this one. It's pretty self-evident that he's going to be using it for range, and even as a stock gun, this thing has a lot of range for something that was made maybe, what, 10 years ago, maybe?
No.
No?
Longer than that.
I haven't seen this gun in Europe at all.
I know these are a little bit old. It looks like here we just have a little bit of a paint job on the stock and the fore end, the handguard, and on some little parts here. I noticed that he has the scope mount that was actually the correct one that links up with the rear sight and another tang that's up where the gas regulator is here. And then we have, it looks like a tiny little scope, but I'm not sure any of the information. I would think that there would be a very interesting cheek weld here on the stock because it's pretty up there and there's nothing to really raise your face. So you might be hovering your face a little bit, I would think.
Mask, like a really
Yeah, a really dense mask maybe? Because I feel like it would be a chin weld.
The chin, yeah.
like a motorcycle helmet for that height. I would give it it's a nice pew.
I would say it's a good pew myself too because I like the FNC a lot, but the way I see it is this one looks like it's perfect condition if it wasn't for the paint job. And I tend not to put any paint jobs or anything super, not destructive, but something that's hard to reverse. I like to keep it generally alone, especially the FNC. I think it looks beautiful the way it is right there and then.
I really like how you used the bench as a gun stand. I think we have to
Use what you got.
Yeah.
Use what you got.
The picture is excellent.
Yes.
But I think I'd put this as it's a good pew.
All right, let's move on.
Next up, we have Bahari Laszlo with the PPS Mosin Nagant, and gotta admit, I haven't seen a Mosin at all in quite a while. I've seen them, but they're far and few between.
I honestly think I haven't seen one on an Airsoft field, not in Europe.
Seriously.
Yeah, I think
We
so.
have a couple players that are currently using them.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Absolutely awesome.
I like the wrap, honestly. Usually these are kind of left alone whenever you do see them on the field. You might see a scope on them, but not much else. But it's very simple, looks good, and I appreciate a good World War II build on the field anyway.
The sling fits, that's for sure.
I want this gun. I'm not going to say too nice to pew because I want to pew with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I want that gun.
I have to agree. M120 might be a bit on the lower side.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yes.
I would try to get it like M150, M160, but
Yeah.
other than this, I would probably run it with iron sights. I always found like
okay.
I don't know, like this. Then I have to remove the wrap,
Sure,
it's
sure,
not the
sure,
same
sure.
gun anymore. But I always like this like bolt action, World War.
I'm just like enemy at the gates.
Oh yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be
Yes, for sure.
But
And
still.
therefore the lower velocity, you can be closer quarters. Like, he's already got the whole rubble thing going on.
Exactly.
In the picture, like up close, and then But yeah, I hear you.
I see that you've done some sanding and other things here and there. I like the way it looks right now. It looks like it's been worn in. I want this gun myself, especially. I'm curious on just how accurate this one is. I've messed with some, and they're not the most accurate things out there, but it would give me a good challenge. So I think it would be really fun to play with something like this. I want this gun as well.
Cool.
I will join this one. I want this gun.
So right off, it's a G&G M14 EBR that's been HPA'd. So it's a G&G GR14 EBR-S with a Wolverine Hydra engine inside of it. Mock suppressor, fake PEQ box, half-inch riser rail, holographic red dot with an edgy inner barrel, 510mm, Lonix hop-up, ML Super Macaron 75 degree, and a Namazu hop-up nub. I don't know how to pronounce that properly. 60 PSI, gun is shooting 1.6 joules with 0.43 gram BBs, shooting straight at even 200 feet plus. I have a very big soft spot for M14s of any kind. I have two of the G&G. I have three G&G M14s. I've got the long-barreled version of this same gun, but not with this really nice peanut butter paint scheme. I want this gun specifically because I know how well the stock one already performs. They're heavy, but it already has a Wolverine in it, so it's going to be very consistent. This thing's probably extremely accurate. I want this gun because I know it's going to just be a dominator on the field.
From my side, I like the looks of it. I can appreciate the paint job, but I know it's heavy. And I prefer to play with my guns, and heavy guns have not my soft spot.
I can understand.
I would say, as much as I like it, for me it's a nice pew.
I have one. It was always my dream gun, so I have one. It is very front heavy, which is why I want this gun. One, I mean, they came out with the aluminum version, which reduced it from,
Boat anchor.
being 5 times heavier to only, not as heavy. But the reason I would actually want this gun is because that it's HPA tapped, and that would possibly justify the front weight. A heavy gun is different than a heavy unbalanced gun. This thing was always just like that. So if it's HPA tapped, I mean, 200 feet, my guess is it could probably do a lot better than that.
Yeah,
You're
well,
pushing
43s too.
You know, but I want that gun. It's cool.
So we have a Silverback SRS A1 by Carl, painted green, Ranger green. We have an adaptive ghillie mesh all over it, SGC rifle wrap, Silverback .308 suppressor, 3x9x50 scope with a Wasp piston heavy sleeve with medium air brake inside of it as well. Two joules spring with 1 ring adjuster. Silverback fast hop up with a longbow chub nub version 2 and a Silverback bucking 70 degree. Stock barrel 22 inches long.
I really like the wrap on this one. I can see how this blends really nice. I wouldn't have the bipod on there because I never saw a point in bipods. But the wrap, it's really nice. Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's like in Europe really, but these have a very big reputation here because of the volume and the piston. And it's either like VSR 10 now or you get one of these. Is it like
That's
that?
the standard.
It's about the same? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here it's just literally an SSG or nothing.
which is the VSR
Yeah,
standard.
so my whole thing, I mean, the picture probably makes it look longer. I agree with Christoph. I like the wrap on it. And my whole thing is, with a bullpup, you have an opportunity to have a very short gun so that you can get in weird short places. And out in the swamp, there's vines and all this kind of stuff. So I prefer the main thing that I like about the SRS is how compact you can get it and still be a
22-inch barrel
firing gun.
Yeah.
But well, no, I mean like.
Well, I'm saying this one specifically has a 22-inch barrel, but it's still a small package.
I'm saying I think it could be shorter.
Okay.
And in my opinion.
But
so
there's a suppressor on it.
I'm like it's a good pew, in my opinion.
I guess real quick, we did just talk about an SRS, but I did want to throw a little bit of love to the Faceless SRS parts and upgrades, guys. This thing has a huge list of parts in it. I'm going to let you guys go ahead and put it wherever you guys would like.
So the thing with, like, these guns are really decent out of the box. Like, okay, the dual screw hop-up thing, that's like polarizing, but from my experience, when people change the parts on these guns, they don't make them better. Like, these are
Sure. Yeah.
These are like change
keep
the
it
chamber,
stock.
change the chamber, keep it stock. Like everything else you will do with it, it's your imagination that tells you it's better. But
It's
if
like
you
a
actually like clamp it and go like in no wind tunnel and you actually test them, you probably made it worse. Like the guys who designed this, they know what's up.
I love the paint job on it. I don't know why I'm not like a massive fan of the scope. Maybe it's just a little low to me, especially with the bullpup. It just kind of works differently. But I think it's gorgeous looking, and I'm curious if the barrel actually goes to the end of the suppressor or not. If it doesn't, I say lose it. Just make it short, compact, functional.
I do like that it has a real Schmidt and Bender scope on it. I really like their scopes a lot.
Forgive me, guys.
Myself. Actually, I would want this gun myself. Again, like I said, I would have taken off the wrap myself. You guys love the wrap, so I'm totally on the lower end here. But I like this paint job a lot. I love the scope on it. I love that there's been a lot of stuff done to it, probably for some reasons to them. Again, these guys have been dealing with the stuff a whole lot more than I have and much more intensely than I have. So that's just my opinion. But I think I would put this at I want this gun.
I want this gun.
I'll go with that.
Cool. This is a very simple build from Gregory, and I very much appreciate it. It's a trusty CYMA CMO57C, or an SVU with an M-LOK rail attached to it, with one of your scopes on top.
I know they're very heavy, these guns. Like with the gearbox in the back, these like, I mean, you put the suppressor there, so maybe you put some lead in the suppressor to kind of balance it out.
It balances itself out.
I'm telling you, like you would think it's nicely balanced. It looks nicely balanced, right? But if you hold it in your hand, it twists your hand backwards.
It does, huh? I haven't handled one in a while.
And the ergonomics, like, look at the space between the grip and the mag. You know, in Airsoft we tend to do like this, right?
Yeah,
See where my hand is?
Yeah.
See where that magazine is? Would never work.
Eee.
So you have to,
Yeah,
you have to do this, and now you peek around the corner, you expose your hand. Like I saw this and was like, man, this is genius. Like this is such a cool gun. Until you wield it, it's like,
Like I've handled a couple of these. I've handled the very basic ones with the other handguard and the bipod. I really like that one myself. I like the look of this. It's futuristic. Me being the Call of Duty nerd, the AS version was in Black Ops 2. So of course I like the SVU. But of course I want the original version. But I want this gun, my opinion. I like it. I really do.
I think it looks cool. I think it's a little busy. I think it would look cooler without the foregrip, because that's just me going by looks. But functionality wise, I had gotten a what was it? A Shadow Steyr, blah blah blah. Like the suppressor. And I tried to play one game with it in the gearbox in my ear.
Oh,
the Phantom AUG.
Yeah.
And it was just like, yeah. And now so I can't say anything about that. And I don't want to downgrade someone's thing because I like the sleek black on it and all that kind of stuff. But at some point, I got to give, at least it's got soul. It's super cool and it could be someone's dream. But the rear gearbox right there.
Now, if it was gas blowback.
that's even worse.
I love stuff like this.
I'm leaving.
You don't? Oh, man.
No, I'm joking.
So this is an SL10. Nothing special, as Michael says. It's an old pick with the wrong scope on it. Cut down the barrel length and put on a compensator. I honestly like the SL9, the SL8 stuff. So I like it myself. I'm going to say that. I would put on a different scope. If I was judging it just by this, I think this is a key mod rail, if I zoom in here. And then if it is a real handguard that was put on here, then I wonder if it wobbles or how tight it had to be put on here. But if it was, let's say it's granted an airsoft one, I would have wanted an M-Lock one now because it's key mod. I'm sorry. But I do like this like gap between the carry handle, but I would put on a different scope. If I was purely judging it on this photo and this is exactly how it is, yeah, I would want a different scope on it. So honestly, this a little bit of a downgrade for me. I'd put this back into It's a Good Pew.
The problem I have with it is, I mean, I like these like split design rails. Like they look different and it kind of doesn't look like a G36 anymore whatsoever. But okay, I tell you the problem I have with it. What's nice about G36 base guns is that you have a high rail and the drop goes, the stock goes lower, so you can use a mask with it. It's one of the few guns where you have like a quick spring exchange, like really fast accessible, and you can use a mask while running it. Now here you put, you know, like you have this massive cheek razor, which now you don't have space for your mask, and then you put the lowest rail. So the combination of hey, I take all the advantages of this gun and I like reverse them is a bit hard for me to swallow.
A+ for it like being unique and all of that. This is such a small dumb thing. I'm just thinking about my environment, like the negative space between what would have been like the handle or, you know, full rail above is like Vine Trap City.
Oh yeah, that's true, especially here.
I mean, I think it would look a lot better if the foregrip matched and all that kind of stuff.
It's pink, right? I'm a little colorblind. Is it pink or purple?
I mean, cool for that person. That's cool. That's what Airsoft's about. But at least it's got soul.
So this is a friend of mine. You might know him as Half Speed, Half Sim on Instagram. He's got a beautiful collection in Canada. He's got all sorts of crazy stuff. And these are just his DMRs and bolt actions and precision rifles. I mean, he's got a little bit of everything and he customizes everything. So there's nothing that usually stays stock in his collection. As you can see, there's two PSU ones because one's the VFC, one's the Marui, like the one we have on the table. He's got the SL98. He's got all the Barretts, the interventions, all the iconic stuff, a huge mix of stuff. And if you guys see him on Instagram, I highly recommend that you check out his stuff. I just want to throw some love to him.
The WA2000 is just
beautiful.
They're like so hard to get, right? They're so hard to get in.
Yeah, this is absolutely awesome.
We should have reviewed these ones.
I mean, this is awesome.
I want
like the VSS, but most important, like all these things, it's like, oh, I have a DSR, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're gorgeous, they're simple, they're committed design, all of that, that's awesome. The lever, everything, but the Walther 2000.
Oh, I want two of those.
Like the rest of these could just be, you know, this is
cool.
an incredible collection. If Too Good to Pew meant you could actually pew with it, it would be Too Good to Pew by a lot.
I don't know if anyone cares, but it has the Modern Warfare 2 stickers. You can barely see them because of this image, but he's got it on the scope caps too. I love that. I want 2 of these just because one that I put on the wall and the other one I actually take out to the field and maybe do an M14 conversion. Some people have done this where they use the magazine well here, turn it into an M14 so it becomes a semi-auto.
It's my #1 dream gun.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of people's.
My #1 dream gun.
I really need to get a couple of these. Last one for the show, and it's my friend Lee's, our Mags Actual on Instagram. I've seen the stuff this guy has done. I love a lot of the work that he's done with ICS actually. But here we have an ICS 2006 anniversary edition of his Mark 12 Mod 0. He does internal work, he does the exterior stuff, he does everything he can. He plays with these, he has a whole YouTube channel based on a bunch of his builds. I really appreciate it, and he is a kick-ass player, for sure.
It just looks harmonic. Like you look at it and nothing goes like, ooh.
Nothing stands out.
Yeah.
It all
like,
looks good.
That looks nice, looks like from a movie or something. Like it's just,
Yeah.
you know, just grab it and play with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it helps too that his photography is also really good.
Yeah. I want the pew. Yeah, I want the pew.
It might seem that we're being like a little simple on here, but it's actually pretty straightforward on here. I want this gun, and I would love to run this.
Yeah, I want that.
agree.
I want a little bit of the mag painted and a little bit of the bottom of the grip painted, but that's going to wear off anyway, especially if you go with the tan base. So that's the only possible complaints. This thing's really cool.
And he's playing in the UK.
Okay, give me that gun.
Mags, contact Swampsniper. So that's just a few builds ranked today. I want to do more of these episodes. They kind of come up sporadically. I never really planned for these things to happen, but I went ahead and asked them, and both of you Chris's were totally fine with that. Christoph and Christopher. Hopefully you guys had fun. I heard you want to do more of these soon. Huh?
Oh yeah, I was just really enjoying it. I wish we had a lot more time right now.
I mean, there was 130 submitted, but we got to wrap this up super quick. If you didn't know, we're here at Ballahack Airsoft. We have an event going on here. There is a raffle that we have to go and attend here. See if we can make some people a whole lot happier today. Again, I want to thank Novritsch. I want to thank Swampsniper for joining us today. Be sure to check out their channels. They put together some of the greatest stuff you've ever seen. Across all of Airsoft, you guys will enjoy every minute of it. All their links will be in the description down below, so be sure to check out their channels. And of course, their Instagrams, their Facebooks, and everywhere else. But until that next video drops from the city of Dallas, Texas, this has been Scott Hollenbeck, and I'll be sure to see you all next time.
We're in Virginia, aren't we?
We're in Virginia at the moment.
Lies! Awesome.
Alright,
Cool.
let's do this raffle.
Oh, oddly, my butt hurts from sitting in this chair. Alright, so I just finished up the video that you just watched. It's about 1 in the morning, and of course I need to thank all the channel members that you guys can see on your screen right now. I've been gone for a little bit. As you can see, it was like a whole month of not doing anything, so I'm back on the grind of all the videos that we filmed in Japan, and that I filmed just before I went to Japan as I was hanging out at Ballahack and all sorts of other places. But real quick before the video ends, I wanted to show you all just some stuff. I was supposed to go airsofting today, but I have a terrible sleep schedule, so I never got the chance. I set up an Arcturus AK-12. This is the PE version that I've gone over recently, but I didn't even get to go take it out. And over here, I have a ICS Mars 2 with a KWA grip, an Aries sight, a G. This is actually a PTS stock, and then I'm using the G&G Banff magazines. Over here, I've got the MP5, the limited edition one from Elite Force that I'll be giving away in the next video. This is all because of USAirsoft, and I'm pretty excited to give this thing away. And then next to it is the last ENL AK that I have to give away. It's an AKS-74U. We tried to give it away on Instagram, but Instagram shot down that giveaway post. So I'm going to figure that out, but we'll be giving away both of these very, very soon. And then I got to figure out how I'm going to make a video over the beautiful new Aries Car 98K. So I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've got, well, these videos and a whole lot more, including some stuff from the Japan trip with Lilacs. So I'm going to go ahead and get straight into work with one of those videos. Next video will be over the MP5 giveaway. And then I'll debate what I'll be doing after that. The channel members get to decide. So I guess until that next video drops, I'll see y'all next time. Good night and or good morning. See y'all.